The European Union conducts its international trade policy through an instrument which is referred to in the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union as the Common Commercial Policy. Article 207 of the treaty. The Common Commercial Policy is an exclusive competence of the Union, whereby the Commission conducts the negotiations with third countries with respect to free trade area agreements on behalf of the Member States. The Member States, in fact, are consulted within the Trade Policy Committee on the negotiations which are ongoing with third countries with respect to trade negotiations. Trade agreements, today referred to as deep and comprehensive free trade areas, comprise a number of areas, most notably the area of goods and services, the commercial aspects of intellectual property rights, public procurement, and foreign direct investments. These are all chapters in the ongoing negotiations with respect to these free trade areas. Trade policy has a number of benefits to the European citizen, to the European consumer. When the European Union negotiates trade agreements, these have the benefit to strengthen its economy and increase economic growth. Free trade areas and other international trade agreements with third countries also create jobs in the European Union, increase the standard of living, and also give the consumer a wider choice of products at competitive prices. Besides this, the consumer can also benefit from cheaper priced goods through the dismantling of barriers to trade. The EU's international trade policy also has benefits for European businesses. Mainly, European business have greater access and more easy access and at lower prices with respect to the purchase of raw materials and other inputs which are crucial for the European industry. And therefore, European business, through the dismantling of barriers, most notably the removal of customs duties, levies, and other charges having an equivalent effect, have a benefit for European businesses to stay competitive, to compete more effectively abroad and export more to other countries and regions outside the European Union. The European Union's international trade policy also projects EU rules and values in trade agreements, and therefore it helps the European Union to shape globalization, especially on issues pertaining to the respect for human rights, working conditions, and environmental protection, including climate change. The negotiations of international trade agreement include a number of areas. Most notably, they ensure that European business have better and more market access in third country markets. Another benefit is the removal of or cutting of customs duties, levies, and other charges having an equivalent effect on goods that European companies export. Furthermore, there is the scrapping also of any limits or quotas on the amounts that the partner country allows the EU companies to export to it. Allowing EU businesses to provide services and bid for public contracts in the partner country is also crucial. Cutting bureaucracy through these free trade agreements will make it easier also for European companies to export, but also maintains things like health and safety standards and environmental protection. Once the Commission completes the negotiations, it publishes the agreement and presents the deal to the Council and to the European Parliament. The Council and the European Parliament examine the final deal and then decide whether to approve it or not through the ordinary legislative procedure, or what is known as co-decision. If both the Council and the European Parliament approve the trade deal, then the EU can conclude the agreement. If the trade agreement, on the other hand, covers areas where EU member states have shared responsibility, then the deal can only be concluded once it is ratified and signed by the national parliaments of all the member states.